Greetings to our members and friends of First Baptist Church Piney Grove. We are glad you joined us to find out what's going on at the Grove. We are dedicated to ensuring that we stay connected to you during these challenging times. It is our prayer that you remain safe, healthy, and blessed. Now, let's find out what's going on at the Grove from our pastor, the Reverend Dr. Derek J. Hughes.
Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Pastor Derek Hughes of First Baptist Church Piney Grove, and today is June 19, 2020. Let me start by saying Happy Juneteenth to all of the listeners who have continued to support this podcast. If this is your first time hearing the podcast, welcome. If you are one of the regular listeners to the podcast, I certainly appreciate your visiting once again. What an exciting time again that it is to be alive in this world with all of the wonderful and challenging things going on. We are still in the midst of a global pandemic, and certainly here in the United States, it has grown to now over 2 million people who've been affected by COVID-19. And particularly those who live in South Florida of watching our numbers surge, becoming the epicenter of the world as it relates to having this virus. And so I want to continue to urge you to be careful, to be mindful, and to be safe as we are still in a pandemic. People are still getting sick and people are still dying. We are now over 120,000 deaths in the United States as it relates to COVID-19. So let us be mindful of that. As we celebrate Juneteenth, what is Juneteenth to some? Juneteenth, again, has been a historic time when we look at the fact that it has been what has celebrated the time of freedom for the blacks in this country. It was a historical moment back in 1865. Some may remember that the Emancipation Proclamation gave freedom to blacks who were enslaved in this country January 1, 1863. However, because of the disconnect of Texas, and particularly those in Galveston, there were many blacks who were still enslaved. For now, nearly 2.5 years later, they were still enslaved until the Union Army showed up and announced again that the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves back in 1863. And now on this day, June 19, 1865, all slaves now across America are set free. The problem was that they did not want them to know that they were free. But now we are all free. We're free in terms of the legal hold on being enslaved. But I want to answer the question as well, where does the term Juneteenth come from? Well, again, it was June 19, 1865, when he read that auspicious order. But the problem was because they could not read or write, they did not understand what June 19th was, and all they could remember is he said something about Juneteenth. And Juneteenth stuck because they did not know the number, but they remember hearing that term. And thus we call it Juneteenth. I want us to understand that this is a time of celebration for the history of blacks in this country whose ancestors who were slaves. I am just 4 generations removed from slavery. My grandfathers, grandparents were slaves. And so as we celebrate, let's celebrate knowing our history. In 1776, July 4th, when this country won its independence through fighting from the British, our ancestors as blacks were still slaves. Unfortunately, it did not happen till later, but we are free legally. Let us now move from being free legally to free mentally, free emotionally, free metaphorically in terms of the actions that we do. We can be free legally, but still act like we're in bondage. The bondage of economics, the bondage of minds, the bondage of police brutality, the bondage of race relations. It's time, and I see God moving in a special way, that we use this time as a time of growing in the freedom. Let me also thank you for sharing in our I Still Can't Breathe protest. It was a peaceful protest last Saturday. It was a great time. I want to thank all of you who participated, those who were members of First Baptist Church Piney Grove and those who came to be a part. There were 6 other churches there, and I want to thank all of you for being a part of that great time in history. We were marching, and we're marching for a purpose. We're marching for several objectives. Let me read to you what we have asked and lined out and sent to the media. What we've sent to the media is this: we are tired of senseless killings that disproportionately affect Black and brown communities. Tired of our lives having less value. Tired of being executed in the streets and in our homes without a judge or a jury trial. We are tired. Year after year, month after month, we continue to add RIP tributes and hashtags for our brothers and sisters killed at the hands of law enforcement. We are tired. We can no longer accept these egregious and senseless acts. We challenge local police departments to work together with communities of color to stem the tide of police shootings and excessive force. Research continues to show African Americans are far more likely than the white counterparts to be stopped, searched, and killed by law enforcement. This cannot continue to be our norm. We, the clergy members from Broward County, encourage police departments across the country, including here in Broward, to do a self-analysis of how they can better do the jobs they are sworn to do: protect and serve all people and all communities. With this in mind, we request that our local police departments implement the following changes and reforms and guidelines. Number 1, the formation of a citizen review board that works with police officials to review any charge of police brutality. Representatives from the civilian population will independently review misconduct. Number 2, sensitivity and cultural screening training for all police officers to help educate them about different ethnic groups, races, and lifestyles and prejudices. Number 3, to set a ceiling on complaints against officers that will determine the threshold for termination. It has been revealed Officer Derek Chauvin had almost 20 internal affairs complaints against him. Had a system like this been in place in Minneapolis, perhaps George Floyd would have been alive today. Number 4, a predetermined process that gives all offenders of the same category the same adjudicated penalty. A 2016 Herald Tribune article found that trial judges throughout Florida sentenced blacks to harsher punishments than whites and offer minorities fewer chances to avoid jail and scrub away felonies. Number 5, more minorities should be hired within the court system. According to that same article, even when given the discretion to show mercy, judges tend to show leniency to people who look like them. The Florida Bar also found minorities are significantly underrepresented as judges in Florida in proportion to their numbers in the general population. Number 6, we want the jail and prison percentages to reflect the population. Research by the Prison Policy Initiative shows people of color are overrepresented in prisons and jails. Nationally, blacks are incarcerated 5 times more than whites, and Hispanics are nearly twice as likely to be incarcerated than whites, despite making up 13% and 16% respectively of the U.S. population. Number 7, we want a jail to work program established, funded, and maintained. According to the National Institute of Justice, inmates who have the opportunity to engage in prison work programs have easier time getting work once they are released and are less likely to be rearrested. The pain in communities of color runs deep. However, when law enforcement works with these communities instead of against them, we can make them safer for both officers and civilians. I look forward to forging a partnership with the local police department in Broward, sheriff's offices, and engaging in open and meaningful dialogue to heal the mistrust and hurt within the community. Thank you very much. We also need to continue, not only with that, but in terms of being free, we need to continue with the objectives of moving our community forward economically. We need to have economic strength. We have economic resources that if you pool all of the resources that blacks make in this country, it is larger than many countries. When we think about our dollar not circulating in our communities like other ethnicities do, we're lagging way, way behind. It's a shame. We've got to invest economically in ourselves. We cannot wait for others to do that. We've been waiting, we've been talking, we've been marching. That doesn't do it. We have to do it ourselves. We need supermarkets in our communities that are owned and run by blacks in this country. We need more jobs that are run by blacks in this country, more businesses. We have to pool our money into banks that are black owned and operated in this country. Money knows the language of money. We have to do that. Now, you can be pro-black without being anti-white. I am not anti-white. Anybody who knows me knows that I am against racism of any form, anywhere. But I am understanding the liberation that's continued to be needed for black people. If we're going to celebrate Juneteenth, let's celebrate total liberation. Also, I want to encourage you to be mindful of things going on at First Baptist Church, Piney Grove. If you want to watch us or be a part of our worship, we have 4 platforms. We're on Facebook Live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We are also on our church app. If you don't have it, you can download it from your iPhone or your Play Store, from whatever phone service you have. You can also watch us on YouTube Live. And you can go straight to our website, fbcpinegrove.org, and watch us there. Also, if you are not a tech-savvy person, you say, I'm not sure how to get on the line and do all of that, you can just call in during the time of 10 o'clock when the worship is going on and dial the number 516-259-9495 from a cell phone. If it's a landline, of course, add a 1 in front of it. Again, that's 516-259-9495. You can listen to the service live. Also, we are providing a free lunch for grade school and any school-age child between 11 and 1 at our school at the church every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1. Drive through and get breakfast and lunch every day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. Free breakfast and lunch. Also, to support the ministry, we have been doing all that we can to support ministry and do the ministry work. But I'm asking you as pastor, stop and support, to give financially to support. If you're not working, I do understand, and times are challenging. But if you can give, please. As you see, we've been using our resources to advance the cause of kingdom. We've been continuing to support the work, and we need your financial support. You can text your tithes to the number of 77977. Again, that's 77977. In the memo section of the text, type Piney Grove, no space, PINEYGROVE, press send. I'll send you a link back and it'll follow along on what to do with that. You can also drop it off on Saturdays between 9 and 12 here at the church, 4699 West Oakland Park Boulevard in Lauderdale Lakes. You can mail it to our church, 4699 West Oakland Park Boulevard, Lauderdale Lakes, Florida, 33313. Or you can go on the website, follow the online giving, and give that way, or through the app and give that way. Thank you so much for your support. Let's not forget Children and Youth Worship every Thursday, 7 o'clock. It's on our Facebook Live and our YouTube Live channels. Facebook Live and YouTube Live channels for our children and youth ages 3 to 17. And again, you do not have to be a member of Piney Grove. We encourage everyone to be a part of our live worship. Every day, 6 a.m. and at 6 p.m., we have a prayer call twice a day, Monday through Friday. The number for the prayer call is 712-451-0444. The access code, once you dial in, is 757400. Again, the phone number is 712-451-0444. The access code is 757400. Every day, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Millennial Bible Study every Monday. Email fbcpgyams@gmail.com, and they'll send you a link to the Zoom Millennial Bible Study. If you're between the ages of 20 and 39, if you know anybody between the ages of 20 and 39, invite them to do so and be a part of this Millennial Bible Study every Monday at 8 p.m. Every Monday at 8 p.m. Again, the email is fbcpgyams@gmail.com. Let me also remind you that there is Sunday school going on every Saturday morning, 10 to 11. You can go to the website and get the phone number and access numbers to all of the various classes. It's been going super well, so please do that. If you are not following up in Zoom small groups, please do that. Here's what you ought to do. You can go to the website, fill out a form. You will get a link to the Zoom call, Zoom areas. We're setting people up via your birth month. So please, ma'am, and please, sir, I am asking you to be a part of small groups. We got to stay connected during this time. We are in a global pandemic. Here in Florida, numbers are surging again. We're seeing numbers in historic time. We're seeing our numbers, in fact, over the last 24 hours, we saw our numbers go up over 3,200 in one 24-hour period. This pandemic is still alive and well. Let us not forget that. So I need you to do that, to be mindful of what's going on. I still say, wear your mask, wear gloves, wash your hands. I still say that we have to protect ourselves. Wearing masks is not about just you contracting it, but it is also about you giving it to someone else. You can be asymptomatic, not have any symptoms, but carry the virus and give it to somebody else, and they can get sick enough and die. So it's not just about you. Stop being selfish. Wear the mask to keep others alive. Please, ma'am, and please, sir. I certainly appreciate that. I want to thank you all. This Sunday, I look forward to sharing the Word of God with you. 10 o'clock, we're preaching from the Word of God as we celebrate fathers as well. It's Father's Day coming. Wonderful time. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining today in this podcast. You please have a great day.